Last step to model identification, right? This last step is a lot like unit dimensionality, but we're going to call it unit loading identification. That's the ULI. And then the very last step is modification indices. So let's get on with the show. Time for some unit loading identification. This process is basically the same thing as constraining one of the correlations to 1. But I'm going to walk you through this. Let me pull this down here. You're going to go to View, Analyze Properties. You want this box to pop up. You're going to switch to the output box. You want to make sure that the modification indices, let me pull that up a little bit, box is checked, and you want this to be 10. So 10 is like the minimum number. So that's what we want there. And just click out of it. We're going to rerun the calculations. And we're going to look at the output. And here's the output. We're going to go to Estimates. And here they are right here. Okay, so again, here's our 4 C's. It looks like C2 is the winner. So we're going to make that. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to C2, right-click, Object Properties, Parameters. I'm going to make this the 1 because it's the largest. So the software is going to automatically calculate the other ones as ratios to what the C2 one is, what the C2 is. It's a 1. And then we're going to get rid of this one. Just delete it. Okay. So let's do this for all of them. That was our C. Our A looks like it's going to be number 2, right? That's the largest. So back to A2. I'm going to delete this one. And then click the 2 and type in a 1 there. That's going to do that for us. And then the last one is the P for Petunia. And it looks like that number 4, P4, is the largest. So we're going to go to P4. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me get it all on screen here for you. So I'm going to undo the P1. I'm going to do that right. I'm going to undo the P1, make that as a deleto, and then I'm going to go to the P4 arrow. That's going to be our 1. If I can do this right. Boom. Okay, that's going to be our 1. So now we have finished the ULI, or the unit loading identification. All right, very important. Anytime you make any kind of changes to your model, you're always going to recalculate it, and that's going to give you a different text output. But we're going to go ahead and double check to make sure that our estimates do fit. Right, so now competency, the highest one is 1. For the attitude, the highest one is 1, and the preparedness, the highest one is 1. So that part worked out very well. All right, at this point, we're going to check on the notes here. We're going to go to the notes for model and look at the chi-squared. And you'll notice that the chi-squared is a huge number, which means there's a significant difference between this model and a saturated model, which means that our model has not been identified yet, which is bad. So in order to fix that problem, we're going to go to Modification Indices. The software is going to suggest some changes. So let's take a look and see what we have here. Amos is suggesting that we add a covariance between E2, error term 2, and preparedness, and between error term 1 and preparedness. So we're going to do that right now. All right, so here, let me drag this over here. This is your covariance line. I'm going to click on that. And we want it from E1 down to preparedness. And we want E2 down to preparedness. Okay, now we're going to recalculate. We're going to click the View Text Output. Remember, every time you make a change, you got to recalculate. And our chi-squared is no longer significant. Yay, us. So what that means is we have properly identified this model, which is good. Which means we can continue. Now, back to the other thing. These covariances we put in, they will not be in the finished SEM model. We should throw that little note in there. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, we're going to go back to the modification. Hopefully it will be blank because we did what it told us to, and it is. Okay, so it's no longer making any suggestions. Okay, so we have properly identified this model. Yay us. Next step.